Hey, what's going on? Seeker Agent Mastermind. This is Devonte Arrington, and right now I'm going to go over how to find Chinese cash buyers in your state, or if you live in the right area, in your immediate city. We're going to take live examples from the members of Easy Agent Pro, show you exactly how you can quickly go ahead and find Chinese cash buyers. So, follow along with me. I'm going to share the screen and I'm going to show you exactly how this is done. Now, before I do this, I know this might be a little bit taboo, and they like to say sharing is caring, and as spread information and everything like that. The reason why I created this group and made it a secret closed group, so that means that only people that I personally invite can actually see this. There's nobody that can go on the internet and search for this and ask to be a part of this group. Nobody can see our posts unless you're inside the group. The reason for that is because the Chinese people have been buying large amounts of properties for large amounts of money, and it's still very, very young. Now, what you've heard about Coca-Cola, that if you would have invested X amount of dollars in Coca-Cola, you'd have X amount of millions of dollars right now in today's day and age. Well, it's the same concept here. What I'd like to add to that is the reason why you won't make that much of a greater return right now if you invest in Coca-Cola or Apple is because once a stock becomes saturated, it has too many fingers in the pie, then essentially there's less room for payouts. That's the same thing here. People talk about scarcity and abundance. At the end of the day, I'm just going to be 100% real with you, is that mathematically speaking, there exists scarcity. And I'm not going to preach falsehoods at all. I'm going to keep it real. Now, the reason why you want to keep this information quiet and private is because you do not want as many fingers in the pie. So let's say there's 8 Chinese cash buyers in an event that you're going to. There's 300 agents. So that means 300 agents are all reaching for all of 8 Chinese cash buyers. Now, that's going to create a lot of competition. It's going to create a lot of frenzies, because now these Chinese cash buyers are having to determine between, per se, if there was only 8 agents and only 8 buyers, then they would only have to choose between 8. But now they have 300 agents all throwing them properties. Does that make sense? So now, you go ahead and you make a secret group and you put them in your group, and then they have 300 other groups that they're going to look at. So you want to have as much of a frenzy as possible. You do not want as many sharks in the water. And I'm just being 100% brutally honest. I would actually venture to say that there'd be a lot more billionaires today if today's information wasn't so carelessly shared and just given. When you have information that is not available to the general public, that you can't just YouTube online and understand how it works, it puts you at an advantage in life. And as an agent or a broker, you've probably been through the tough ups and down times of, having deals that would have been slam dunks, and they fall apart in your face. I remember I had one of my great deals I almost closed. I was going to make $80,000. I was going to make $80,000, but there was another finger in the pie that was making it hard to close the deal. So understand that I'm sharing this information so that we can all prosper and we can all network and work together and share the ideas. And I know when you first get this information, you're going to be very, very excited. You're going to jump up and down. When I first heard about this, man, I wanted to tell everybody I knew, and I did. almost. And it's very, very exciting information because these Chinese cash buyers are willing to pay more than retail price for a property. And you can see that in today's day and age, that a lot of sellers are starting to ask for more than what their property is worth, and they're not budging on the price, which it makes it very hard to sell the property. You know, but with these Chinese cash buyers, they have different motivation. They have a need to leave their country because a lot of factories are going on there, and it's polluting the air. The stock market is kind of crashing in China. So a lot of people are moving their money from China over here in America. So this is very, very valuable information. And I would just strongly advise that you keep it to yourself, keep it within the group. Secret Agent Mastermind, because the less fingers in the pie, the less competitors you're going to have to deal with, and the more income that you can make a lot more easier. Trust me on this. So we're going to go ahead and get into this. I'm going to show you how to find these buyers within your city or within your state. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to go ahead and share the screen here. There we go. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got here. We are on the Easy Agent Pro membership Facebook with Mark Hogart. So where does Mark live at? Let's take a look. Okay, Mark Hogart is in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Okay, so we're going to go on meetup.com and save this, right? Bookmark it, right on your computer. Go ahead and bookmark it and sign up for meetup.com, make yourself an account. I'll probably go through with that later on, but let's go ahead and see what we got for Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. What you're going to do is you're going to have Chinese right here in the search box. So there's no Chinese meetups in the immediate city of Oklahoma City, but what Mark can do is, let's say, 25 miles. I personally like to drive, so um, I will do 100 miles. So when you encounter that, there's no Chinese and within 100 miles of your city, then you're gonna have to go. Still stay within your state if you can, but you're gonna have to go a little bit longer of a distance. So let's try this next city. Nothing there. Okay. Now, if you don't see anything, in your state, then you might have to cross over to another state. If you don't see any immediate meetups. Now, the reason for that is because Chinese people are still looking in to move in other areas. They might just for a number of reasons. They might have a place in California where it's heavily populated and they're just not aware of your area yet. So I'm just gonna go on my phone and I'm gonna look for cities within 200 miles of Oklahoma City. See what comes up. Okay, we're actually going to do states near Oklahoma City. You know what? I think let's try Tulsa, Oklahoma. See what we come up with. Nothing in Tulsa. So it looks like, now we're going to encounter this, especially if you're here on Easy Agent Pro. You're going to have to cross in their state. So hold on. States surrounding Oklahoma. That's what we're going to do. So we can try Arkansas, Arkansas. Okay, look what we found right here. Little Rock Go Club. So this right here is really powerful. So right here in Little Rock. Okay, Go. It's a Go club. Okay, it says Go is one of the oldest games in the world. It's been played for at least 3,000 years. Go was invented in China. Through the who and when is the matter of considerable debate and inspiration of myth and legend. Why should I go play Go? Go makes you better. Any game improves your mind. It improves your strategic thinking skills, heightens your ability to focus. So, here's the thing. Whether you want to be a Go champion or not is irrelevant. The fact is that you're going to meet up with, Chinese people, and you're going to go ahead and get into the world, because Chinese people definitely appreciate when you get into the world and you're intrigued with their culture. So even if you suck at Go, you don't know what Go is about, even if it's 200, 300 miles away, go ahead and make that trip. And here's another thing that I want to tell people, because a lot of people, and this is very, very frustrating to me. A lot of people get stuck in their own area. You know, they don't want to move out of their little city. They want to stay in their city. I remember dealing with an agent when I was living in Orlando, and I told him that we had a great deal. It was only an hour and a half, 2 hours away. He freaked out. He said, "Oh my God, that's far." I mean, at the end of the day, look at it like this: how much money do you want to make, and how much distance is going to stop you from making that type of money? This is all a choice right here. And if you got to cross a state, there's 25 players. Now, out of those 25 players, they might want to buy a house, and they might have 5 family members that want to buy a house. So what is that worth to you? See, a lot of people, and like, again, it's frustrating because a lot of people, they want to make great income, but yet they don't want to go out of their way to make it. And if you want to be very successful, with these Chinese cash buyers, if they're not in your immediate area, you're going to have to take that trip. So let's go ahead and find another guest right here. So, okay, going to let's see. Let's go with look, he's got one of my good friends, Justin Beasley. That's very interesting. Okay, let's go with Matthew Morin. Let's see where he lives at. Okay. Huh. Well, doesn't show us his current home state or town or anything, so let's go ahead and move on to someone else. Let's try Robbie right here. Oh, looks like we got a hot one here. He is in Georgia. Okay, we got a live one. Take a minute to let that load up. Okay, he is in Woodstock, Georgia. All right, Robbie, it's your lucky day, brother. Let's go ahead and make this happen. Woodstock, Georgia. Okay. Woodstock, Georgia. Okay, yes. Now, see if he has anything in his immediate area of Chinese. All right, let's go ahead with 10 miles. Oh, here we go. Okay, all right, 10 miles within Woodstock. Now, he's got the Atlanta Kung Fu Group. So, Atlanta Kung Fu Group, martial arts, Kung Fu, Wushu, Tai Chi, Sanda. Now, go ahead and do join us. Right here. Robbie, if you're watching this, join this group. And I'm going to explain why. It's in the metro area. And you got Greater Atlanta Mahjong. Join every group you possibly can. Mahjong, I love Mahjong as a kid. Now, right here, it's got these event dates coming up. It's got one on the 11th, the 14th, another one on the 14th. It's got 2 players, 3 players attending. So show up to every single one of these. And be ready with your WeChat. Let's do 50 miles. Look, the Atlanta Chinese Language and Culture Meetup Group. There are 979 Chinese speakers. Power in this now. Are you seeing the power in this? So they got one coming up on the 11th. And it looks like there's 2 going. Let's see. And think about it. You only need one Chinese cash buyer to change your life, because once one buys from you, then you're in their good graces for a lifetime, because buying a house for the Chinese is a very emotional, very personal thing. Right here, lunch at Chef Lu. There's 7 going. This is where I'm gonna be. Chinese Lunar New Year celebration. I'll either be in Orlando or be in Atlanta for that. There's going to be 2 going so far, but trust me, there's going to be a lot more people. So go ahead and go to every single one of these events. We're gonna click and get up close and personal right here. Very awesome. Some African Americans, some Caucasians, and Chinese people, and go there, network. There's so much out there, so much out there. Now let's go ahead and try another one. But you guys are getting the point here, right? We're gonna pick on you, Cynthia. Okay. Oh. Oh well, she used to live in. Okay, so, she's from Orlando, Florida. Well, and she is in Virginia right now. I'm going to show you results for both, because I got a couple of people. I used to live in Orlando, so I actually got some great information for you if you live in the Orlando area. You got, man, you almost just don't want to give this information away, but at the same time, I can't handle everything. If I go ahead and I get 1,000 Chinese cash buyers, there's no way I can court them all. So that's why I'm creating this group, because I do have properties all over the area, but there's no way I can handle buyers and sellers at the same time. We're all work together on this and network, and all go ahead and pool our minds together, and that's why it's called a mastermind group. Now I'm about to go. After, I'm not exactly for sure what is going to be pulled up for this hometown right here, but I know Orlando. It's going to be a heck of a surprise for you, ladies and gentlemen, right here. So let's go ahead and enter in her area. Oh, there we go. We got the Richmond Mandarin group. Come on, guys. I'm throwing valuable information. There's 90 people. Join up. Private message these people. Go, look at these people. Go ahead and Kate, go, click on Kate's profile. Click on Gerald Zhu. Look Gerald Zhu up on Facebook and say, hey, Gerald, I saw that you were on the Richmond Mandarin group. I'm very interested in that group. I'm in the Virginia area. I thought that we would network and, just become acquaintances, look for No Long Tong on, look for him on Facebook, go ahead and add them. Send them a message. Same scenario. You guys get where I'm going with this. This is very, very powerful information. So, another foreign language meetup. There's 346 learners. We have different classes such as Korean, Japanese, Chinese, and English slang. So, again, you can go ahead and meet Chinese people here. Go ahead and find them on Facebook. See if there's anything further out. Look at this. Natural Healing Alternative Medicine Meetup. Old Town Outdoor Meditation Group. Chinese Yoga. Look at this. Crazy. Fort Washington Wing Chun Kung Fu meetup, just brand new. Nova T-Buds. Huh. Now, I'm going to show you something that's red hot. Look at this. If you're in the Orlando area, you definitely need to keep this quiet. I forbid you to actually talk about this. Look, Tampa Bay Marshall Safety Harbor, meditation. Come on. Middle Way Buddhist. Warriors on Water. Orlando Stoics. Orlando Breathwork Meditation. 1600 Breathers. Fuel the Chi. 104 Peaceful Spiritual Warriors. Love, Peace, and Harmony, Orlando. One second. Okay, so that way is a fast way to go ahead and meet Chinese cash buyers. Now, why do Chinese people buy cash? Because Chinese people believe that you should only pay one time, for something. If you buy a house, you should only buy it one time. Yeah, they don't believe in making payments. They believe in buying something outright. This is very, very powerful because with cash, you don't have to do an inspection or contingency on inspection. You don't have the banks there to say yes or no or approve and then disapprove later. They got cash. It's their own decision. So right there is a very, very powerful, tool right there. That right there alone is going to skyrocket your income. Skyrocket. Yeah, it's just crazy. I don't know if I'm even going to, end up regretting this. I might in some ways, I might not. This is very, very powerful information, and I struggled with it for a long time on who I'd want to release this to. I do investing, I do fix and flipping and stuff like that, and it's not feasible for me to release that information to other investors and things of that nature. I've only felt comfortable right now, probably forever, only releasing it to agents and brokers. So, like I said, you guys are going to be ahead of the curve. You're going to be ahead of the curve. You're going to be ahead of so many people in your area. So many people. So many people. What I am just, throwing out there is that, with Easy Agent Pro, now, you got the tools there, but now you have the tools to get those $1 million listings or to bring those buyers to those $1 million houses. Now you got them. On average, the minimum that Chinese buy a house is $800,000. That's the minimum. I was on a new construction site, in a new construction company, and saw a Chinese cash buyer family buy a new house, $400,000 cash. Nothing. So, what does this mean for you? Well, it means nothing if you don't take action. How bad do you want it? Are you going to be one of those people that are, just, I don't have any in my area, so I'm not going to go pursue it. That guy, Mark, in Oklahoma City, meetups in his area. Now, when you go to California, Los Angeles, and, things like that, Chinese are heavily, heavily, heavily saturated. So it's hard for a lot of Chinese people to get the properties in the areas that they want. So they are looking in other areas. So if you are a guy like Mark that doesn't have a Chinese meetup in his area, then what you can do is you can go to the state over and you can introduce yourself in a meetup group, and you can say, hey, here is an area brand new that a lot of Chinese people don't know about already. You guys can be, the first forerunners on introducing that area to the Chinese people, your Chinese family. You can be one of the very first. And again, like I was saying, like you want to be able to be, the very first in this. You want to be able to be the Coca-Cola investor, the guy that went ahead and put down $100,000 and now is living on an island. Don't miss out on this. Don't miss out on this. Don't, especially if you are one of the very first, first 500 people to go on this, you are extremely lucky. So go ahead and take advantage of this. And I'll go ahead and see you on the next video. It's going to be great. And maybe sometime, this year, I'd like to schedule a meetup for all of us, to kind of have a nice little meetup for the whole family. So this is Devontae Arrington. Again, what did I say? Keep it under wraps. Keep it quiet. I know you're excited. Don't tell your mom. Don't tell your auntie. Don't even tell your goldfish. Salute.